Masters. My name is Abhijit Joshi. Before we proceed, everyone please mute their mics. Let me introduce our Vice President of Public Relations, Khushbu Shah. It's all you, Khushbu.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Abhijit. I'm going to share my screen and we'll start presenting. Give me a moment. Can you all see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Welcome everyone to the Women-led Toastmasters. We provide safe platform for everyone using bi-weekly theme-based meetings to practice prepared speeches, impromptu speeches, and the evaluations. We believe in the improving, empowering, and learning from each other. Our mission is to empower people like you. This is our founders team who has helped us. All these are our current members, and the members that you see below are core founding members. Today's our meeting theme is resilience. And with that, I would like to say that I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I cannot accept not trying, by Michael Jordan. I really like this quote, and that's why I decided to share with you all today. Here is our agenda, which I'm going to paste in our chat. This is our agenda that you can take a look. I would like to make some announcement, which is there is an upcoming in-person hangout, which is an optional. People can join us virtually as well using these links. All this information is available on our website. People can use that. And please join us for Sunday, August 8th from 5 to 6 into this Memorial Park at Cupertino. And if not possible for you, please, we would like to join in using the virtual meetings. These are some of the new blogs written by a few of our members. Do check out them all onto our website. I will share the links shortly. August newsletter is already out. I'm sure you would have got a chance to check it out, but if not, please go ahead and check in your inbox. You can find it using Women-led Toastmasters August 2021 issue. It is from me and Renee both. If you want to, here are some of our social handles. We are present on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and we also have some of our Slack channel and YouTube as well. And we also have a group on the WhatsApp. This is for the paid members only. If you would like to participate into any of these channels, I would definitely encourage you all to be active on those. Thank you. And with this, I would like to pass on our control to our tonight's Toastmaster, who is Samantha. Over to you, Samantha.
Thank you, Khushbu. My name is Samantha. I will be the Toastmaster this evening, and I'll just make sure that everything runs on time and smoothly. As Khushbu did state, our theme for today is resilience. To start, Lakshmi, can you please give us the leader profile of the day?
Yeah, sure. Good evening, Toastmaster and fellow Toastmaster. And we all know that what is resilience, right? It's a human capacity to meet adversity. So today, I'm going to talk about how this resilience is a very crucial characteristic of high-performing leaders. And they have to cultivate it in themselves in order to advance and thrive. So I have chosen one women leader who is First Lady Michelle Obama. She has been actively in the news for two things. One is her passion sense. Second one is her leadership skills and community activism. And I have observed a few things from her, and that would be, I would like to share those. One is her self-respect and respect for others. It is very easy to forget to respect others, but especially in our current political or professional landscape, right? So, but make sure you to have a self-respect first and respect for others. And she always follows that. And then effective communicator. The leaders not only speak confidently and clearly with a sense of conviction that will move, they are speaking into the action. And then the last one is honest and dedicated. And she's always very much honest and dedicated. Whatever she has been leading that I have known for last few years. So what I'm trying to say is she has gone through multiple negative comments, and before she became a white lady also, she has faced multiple negative comments. But look at her now, everyone especially strongly respect her and believes in her because of her own personality. Over to Toastmaster, thank you.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Next, Jojo, can you please explain the role of AHA counter? Sorry, is Jojo not here? Oh, no,
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was mute by myself. So yeah, hello from Taiwan. Actually, I'm in a different country. Hi, it's morning here. So good evening, everyone, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and guests. The purpose of the art counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when the speaker repeats a word or phrase. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of the times that each speaker used these expressions. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you, Jojo. Next, Shanti, can you please explain the role of grammarian?
Good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it's my responsibility today to closely look into all speakers and listen carefully about their language usage. And I'll take notes on usage of improper language, outstanding words or sayings or quotes. And then I'll be reporting at the end of the meeting. And another important duty I have is for today's meeting, I present the word of the day. The word of the day is resilience. Resilience, which means as we were talking about adversity and how to overcome adversity. Resilience more often referred to as the ability to recover and how fast a rebound from the challenges and setbacks. So when you say people are resilient people or resilient person, they are aware of the situation, their emotions, and the behavior around them. Then, by remaining aware, they take control of the situation and think of new ways how to tackle that and become strong when you come out of the difficulties. So, as an example, when I lost my job in August 2020, it was really a challenging time. As usual, we may think about like I should have done this differently, that differently. It has been going on in my mind for some time, but within 2 weeks I was able to become resilient by having a plan and took and that as an opportunity to pivot into product management role from a program management. So how fast and how we rebounds to our real world. And in our quote today, life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient, said by Steve Maraboli. Back to Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Next, we have Khushbu. Can you please explain the role of timer?
Yes, today I'm going to time all of your speeches. There are some speeches which is icebreaker. It is going to be 4 to 6 minutes. Another speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. And then I would be also be timing all the evaluators. Evaluation falls between 2 to 3 minutes. For 4 to 6 minute speeches at the 4 minutes, I would be showing a green card. At 5 minutes, I would be showing a yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I would be showing a red card. Similar for the 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I would be showing a green card. At 6 minutes, I would be showing a yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I would be showing a red card. And for evaluations, it would be 2 minutes. At 2 minutes, I would be showing the green card. At 2.5 minutes, I would be showing the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I would be showing the red card, sorry. And at the end, I would be presenting my report to the general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Khushbu. Next, we have the general evaluator, who will be Karen. Karen, do you by chance know, can you explain that role? I know you just got it.
I love the GE role. It's the best role. You get to watch what everybody else does and report out on the meeting. And you also have this fabulous team, you know, the timer, the awe counter, the grammarian, all those people come together to give fantastic feedback to the speakers. And that's the most fun. And of course, there are the evaluators, you know, who offer us speech details before the speakers speak. And then they provide an evaluation with detailed feedback that people can act on. It's my favorite part. And I get to do a summary. I get to be like the coach.
Thank you, Karen. Now we're going to move on to the speech portion of the meeting. Our first speaker will be Bhavna. Did I pronounce that right? Okay. Madhu, can you please give the objective of the speech? I know you also just got this.
So Bhavna's speech today is her icebreaker. This is her first speech with presentation mastery. The goal of the speech is for us to learn about Bhavna and for her to feel a big part of this group. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Bhavna Sharma, My Experience with Destiny. My Experience with Destiny, Bhavna Sharma.
I'm Bhavna. I was born in a middle-class Indian family where children's education is the single greatest achievement of parents' life. My parents were no different. They deeply cared about education. However, contrary to that, I was a struggling student. My elder brother was excelling in academics and he was meeting all the expectations of my parents. But even in my elementary grades, I find it difficult to fit in, and it got worse in later grades. I remember my mom telling to me, if you pass the 10th grade, I will enroll you into tailoring classes, and then I'll find a suitable guy for you. I always thought I did not fit in the convent school where I was enrolled to. But my father worked really hard to get me into that school. I realized that later. Nonetheless, I was a fun-loving girl who will find innovative ways to avoid doing my schoolwork. I loved playing with street kids who had no interest in studying. I did not study, and my academic performance scared my family a lot. Do you believe in destiny? If not, you are missing out a lot. When I was in my 8th grade, I was moved into a different section. I was in a new setting, new students, and definitely smart ones. It was a regular day at school. We were going through our daily schedule. I heard kids talk, laugh, discussions students were having amongst themselves. But as usual, I was lost, sitting in the corner, thinking about day to get over, and I reach home and play with my friends. Suddenly, I hear a noise. One of the girls in my class has slapped a boy who tried to move her chair while she was trying to sit. I went over to that girl and praised her for what she did that day. Little did I know that conversation will change my life forever. I was starting a new journey of right talks and conversation. Becoming friends with that girl boosted my confidence. Now other kids in the class started talking to me. And before I even knew, I had developed this spirit of healthy competition. We both supported each other. I enjoyed her success, she enjoyed my success. That year, I was awarded for my academic performance. Meeting her changed my life forever. And in simple ways, you can say it was destined to happen. After that, there was no looking back for me. I got so many new things, opportunities that I never ever imagined before. After school, I went on to do bachelor's in engineering, double master's, a PhD. During this time, I was awarded I got several awards and scholarships. When I was standing in the main office to get my badge at Oak Ridge National Lab, I was literally in tears. This is the same girl who heard while growing up, she did not have a future. She was not meeting her parents' expectations. She was not fitting in with the kids from convent school. And now that girl would be working for one of the best labs in the world. If it was not for destiny, if I have not met that girl, I strongly believe I would have failed in life. That day was I hit my personal jackpot, I would say. I strongly believe some things are meant to happen, and that's your destiny. Let the course take it away. My experience with destiny has been very, very special, and I owe my life to it. Back to your Toastmaster.
Thank you. That was great. Next, we have, as our second speaker will be Lakshmi. Vicky, could you please give the objective of the speech? Oh, I'm sorry. No, wait, there's 2 minutes silence.
Samantha, is that me? Next, I thought I was the third speaker.
You'll be going second now.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. And right now, there should be a Google Doc form. Then if you guys could please fill that out.
Time is up.
Thank you, timer. Lakshmi, are you ready? Okay. Our second speaker is Lakshmi. Vicky, could you please give the objective of this speech?
Yes. Lakshmi's pathway is leadership development, and this is her pathway reflection speech. And the speech will take between 10 to 12 minutes.
Thank you. Lakshmi Sridhar, propose a toast to Toastmasters. Propose a toast to Toastmasters. Lakshmi Sridhar.
Thanksgiving Day, 2014. I proposed a toast for the very first time at my nephew's wedding. The bride's family members were all giving a toast, but we, the bridegroom's family, didn't have a single representative, as we don't have this system in India. So I decided to go ahead and make a fool of myself. I didn't know the bride well, so I just mumbled a few words in praise of her. And then I said, forget the speech. Come on, dear. Give me a hug. Welcome to the family. Everybody liked it. But I knew that I did what I did because I didn't know what to speak. So, when my friend Padma mentioned that I should join Toastmasters in November 2020, I thought, why not? This would make me speak well at social events or during interviews. But I was in for a big surprise as I learned more. Before joining Toastmasters, I did have some stage experience long back. But of late, my speaking skills were getting slightly rusty. I was losing my confidence. Toastmasters helped me regain my identity and made me feel confident and made me learn to accept feedbacks. After speaking to my mentor, Abhijit, I gave my icebreaker speech on December 23rd, 2020. It was about my passion for drama and how drama taught me to learn from mistakes and not repeat them in the future. I cannot forget that day. I was in seventh heaven after the speech. I called my parents, my sister, and repeated my speech on WhatsApp video call. I also sent them the recording link once it was published. I was so glad to have found my voice back. After this, I started typing all my thoughts, anecdotes about my family, life experiences in Word documents and stored it in a folder called Women Lead. I used all these notes for my speeches. I realized that our life is nothing less than a blockbuster movie or an interesting novel. Toastmasters helped kindle my memories, just like an old photo album, which is hidden somewhere in the closet. My speech on willpower made me realize how much I appreciated my willpower. I also recognized that I was somewhat strong as my paternal grandma. She lived until 99. When she was in her 80s, she had a fall and she fractured her hip. When my dad visited her, she was completely bedridden. He thought that she would not survive for long. So he decided to take us to visit her after 2 months. You will not believe what I saw. My grandma was mopping the floor. Memories. Toastmasters took me back 30, 40 years ago. Beautiful. Megan's kind words in her blog made me present, motivated, and no longer miss cellophane at the speech contest. This speech helped me find new friends at different clubs around the world. They were willing to give me feedback about my speech. I learned to pronounce some words correctly, learned to dress professionally, and correctly finish a speech effectively. Because I was able to practice the speech at different clubs, I was able to use the same speech for different levels and different pathways. So this actually accelerated my education by about 6 or 7 months. My pathway, leadership development, helped me recognize my leadership style. In future, whenever I take up a project, I will know my weaknesses and strengths beforehand. I will be able to focus more on my weaknesses and use my strengths wherever I need to shine. Well, you might be wondering, hey, how come Lakshmi finished her pathway? I have not heard most of her speeches. As mentioned before, I had friends at other clubs, so it was easy for me to get speaking slots at their clubs. This too helped me quickly finish my pathway. Now let's move on to evaluation of speeches. I learned 2 very important things. First one, to communicate with empathy. And second one, to accept others' point of view. Basically, I'm a very stubborn person who is very, very blunt. For me, everything is either black or white. This has put me and others in an awkward position before. Now, I'm able to communicate even the negative things in a positive manner. Toastmasters has helped me tell people how to improve certain aspects without hurting their feelings, which is very important at workplace and in personal relationships. I'm so happy you rinsed this cup and put it in the sink. I would have been happier if you rinsed it and put it in the dishwasher. Sounds better. Then why didn't you rinse it properly and put it in the dishwasher? Right? In the beginning, all my speeches' first draft was perfect. I thought so. Then Abhijit would come and tell me, loved it, but the speech would have been better if. After my speech, an evaluator like Vicky would come and suggest a couple of improvements. I'm an actress, so I would just smile and nod my head. But at the back of my mind, I would be saying, really? Gradually, my mind voice started saying, really? Then, and finally, yes, that makes sense. I realized that any speaker, it might be the international speech contest winner, even that person's speech has room for improvement. To put it all together, I feel that by regularly giving speeches, accepting and applying the feedbacks has improved my profile as a confident speaker. What about you? Don't you want to learn it in a similar fashion? Then come on, join the fun. Give at least one speech a month. I strongly recommend that you go to other clubs and speak too. By the way, is anyone getting married soon? I'm sure I'll be able to give a better toast now. Thank you, Toastmasters. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lakshmi. That was great. Can I get 1 minute on the timer so we can fill out the evaluation for her?
Yes. Time is up.
Thank you. Next, we will have Helen. Deepa, can you please give the objective of the speech?
Absolutely. Thank you, Samantha. I have the pleasure of evaluating Helen today. This is her evaluation and feedback speech in level 1 visionary communication. I'm sorry, I was supposed to be evaluating somebody else, and so I'm scrambling here for Helen's speech data. So in this speech, she will be talking about family traditions that Helen misses due to the restrictions of the pandemic. This would be the second time that she will be giving this speech, and she has incorporated feedback from the evaluations that she received after giving the speech for the first time. As I mentioned earlier, this would be level 1 of visionary communications.
Thank you, Deepa, coming in at the end there. Helene, Josephine, dim sum, Helene, Josephine.
Dim sum. 2 little words that mean so much to my family. You may be familiar with dim sum if you're an aficionado of Cantonese food. It's wonderful tradition in Cantonese and other Chinese cooking of an afternoon or morning snack with friends and relatives. I was introduced to dim sum by my husband, Dale. He spent quite a bit of time in San Francisco in his 20s and 30s. And we all know how good the Chinese food is in San Francisco. Almost as good as what you can get in Hong Kong. So the tradition of Chinese food and dim sum is something that happened in our family because we used it for all of our celebrations. Someone's birthday, let's go out for dim sum. Mother's Day, dim sum. Father's Day, dim sum. A celebration of any kind. Someone coming in from out of town, let's book a restaurant in San Francisco and go for dim sum. Let me tell you a little bit about what happens when you walk into a dim sum restaurant. Usually it's a very big room filled with very large tables for 8 or 10 or 12. Lots of noise, lots of talking, and lots of celebration. So you sit around a table for about 12 people, and the waiters push carts around the room. And on these carts are stacked some of the most delicious food in the world. But you can't tell what it is. Sometimes there's not even a menu. They put the plate on your table and you open it up and there it is. It could be spring rolls or pork buns shrimp rolls, sometimes a little bowl of soup. Oh, my favorite, those very fluffy steamed buns with barbecue sauce inside. Ah, they're just heavenly. Now, my husband tended to like the more exotic things on the dim sum menu, things like chicken feet, ugh, and pork blood. But you didn't have to try if you didn't like it. And since they were all little plates and all of us were sharing, you could get a taste of anything and mix it up. Now, you did have to pace yourself this dim sum event because you wanted to leave room for dessert. My favorite were the desserts made little custards, wonderfully flaky crust, and very creamy egg custards filling. So delicious, unbelievably. It's like a little piece of heaven. Some of the other desserts included 1,000-layer cake, sesame rice balls, all sorts of different fruits and syrupy sauces. Those were also delicious. And the tea, oh my heavens, oolong tea or jasmine tea or chrysanthemum tea, that alone was worth the trip for dim sum. Now, going out for dim sum with two people is pretty sad because you don't really have a chance to try all these wonderful dishes. So I would recommend, if you're planning to go for dim sum, definitely invite all of your friends and family to come with you and really enjoy it. Well, my husband did get very ill and we couldn't go out for dim sum anymore. And that was pretty sad. We tried to do a dinner at our own home for a New Year's Eve, got some things from the Chinese store, some frozen items, got some buns at the noodle house. It just wasn't the same, not without the atmosphere of the bustling carts, the waiters, and the noise of the atmosphere of the dim sum tea house. And then, because of the pandemic, we couldn't have a celebration after my husband passed away. And we wanted to all go out as a family to have dim sum and salute him. So as a family, that one tradition which meant so much to us is something that we're still looking forward to experiencing as a family, having dim sum and a toast of chrysanthemum tea for my husband, Dale. It's a wonderful tradition, and I hope that someday you will all enjoy it as well. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Julie. That was great. Timer, can you please put 1 minute on the clock?
Sure. Time is up.
Samantha, you're muted.
Sorry, thank you, Kushbu. If everyone could please fill out the best speaker, that would be great. We do have some time since we only have 3 speakers today. So I'd like to introduce the guests, and I'd also like to hear how you guys heard about us. So Aisha, Sina, and Melody, if anyone would like to go.
Hi, my name is Aisha Wyatt. I just more or less, I'm a LinkedIn junkie. And I saw it on LinkedIn But as I said, I didn't realize, I used to live in Santa Monica and I thought the time difference would be fine, but like, it's like 10:25 here. So it's a 3-hour time difference that we're dealing with. Last week it was, in Georgia, you have storms, severe thunderstorms. 1 minute you have electricity, 1 minute you don't. And it's like a rolling storm, it comes and it goes. But I had so many things to do last week. I said, forget it. But I could have put the excuse that the reason I was not going to attend is because my internet was out. And that happens a lot because of the storms. But I found it on LinkedIn, and I'm really enjoying the different speakers and how they speak, the topics, and I'm really interested in terms of what's being done, and I'm really enjoying the format. And I thank you very much for allowing me to be here and be a part of this group, because everybody has so many different lifestyles, events, changes. It's like I don't have a TV because I don't like television, period. But it's the drama. You get sucked in, and all of a sudden it's wow, is that so? And it gives you a chance to laugh at different things, and you have a chance of being happy and sad, and then you're not even, it doesn't even relate to what's going on. You said, that is interesting. So I'm very happy. I'm learning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aisha. I also found this on LinkedIn as well. Melody or Sina, do either of you?
I can go next. Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Melody Young. I found this through the Toastmaster site. I actually live in the East Bay in Pleasanton, and I went to in-person Toastmasters meeting, I think maybe a year ago or a year and a half ago, but I just kind of dropped off. So I wanted to retry it again. I work in a sales job, so figured Toastmasters would be a great way to practice my public speaking skills and just keep sharpening those skills. So here I am. I'm also enjoying the content so far. It's a little bit different from my previous experience because this is more of a themed speech type of approach, and everyone's story is so interesting, and I don't know, it's a lot of fun. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Melody. Sina, would you like to go? Tell us how you found us.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Sina. I'm actually based out of Kentucky. I have been part of the newsletters for some time, but same like Aisha, this time doesn't work. I'm usually in bed by this time. It's 10:30 here. I used to be a Toastmaster, especially like a couple of years ago. So the roles are very different when it becomes virtual. So I'm still figuring out who's who and what's their roles and all that, but it's been a pleasure to hear all the stories, and I'm looking forward to next sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Sina. That is all of our guests. I will now give it over to Shashi for table topics.
Thank you, Toastmaster. So today for the table topics, let's go with the CHIMAC first. CHIMAC, tell us about a difficult situation you have faced and how are you able to overcome it?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I was tired.
Sure. Yeah, tell us about a difficult situation that you have experienced and how you faced it and how you were able to overcome it. Maybe in the recent times or anything like that.
Interesting question. Okay, I have one. In my last job, my boss actually wanted us to increase our efficiency at our job to refill more medications each day. And I found that really difficult because we were actually pushing out as much prescriptions as possible already to increase our speed and efficiency more. She was asking for practically almost double the amount of prescriptions that we were doing. I find that was very difficult in a short period of time. So we talked to her about it, and we promised that we would eventually increase it, but we would require some time. So as we talked to her about it, and she's agreed to give us a little bit of time, each week, my team and I, we monitor our progress by looking at how much scripts we refilled each day. And each hour, I would also check to see how many prescriptions I have processed and decide what kind of problems that I was experiencing and what barriers that caused me to slow down. And with that in mind, I improved my efficiency by trying to eliminate those barriers and find more alternative ways that are more efficient in solving those problems. So over time, we were able to increase our speed and efficiencies and refill more medications and help more patients. Thank you. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Chimak. And so the next question would be for Sarah. And Sarah, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So the question would be, every one of us go through the emotional crisis. So how do you deal with emotional crisis? Like what kind of self-care do you take and what kind of self-care do you suggest to every one of us?
Can you repeat the question one more time, please?
Sure. So it's regarding the emotional crisis. Like every one of us go through the emotional crisis. So what kind of self-care techniques do you use? And what kind of self-care do you suggest us to take in case of any difficult situations?
Well, we all go through emotional crises, and I think those are the times when we need to step back and make sure that we are taking care of ourselves, both physically and mentally. A lot of times, during those times, you might be affected by maybe stress from other situations, like things are piling up, small things. You also might be affected by physical obstacles, like maybe you didn't get enough sleep last night, or you are hungry and haven't had dinner yet. All these things kind of add up and can affect your emotional balance. So I think during an emotional crisis, when you don't feel yourself getting anywhere, getting any solutions, it's good to step back, take a pause, assess how you are doing inside, maybe take care of those things physically and mentally, to take a rest before returning back to that emotional crisis. And then maybe seeing if that changes anything. Often I feel like even after one night's sleep, my perspective changes immensely. And somehow things that seemed horrible last night are not really that bad in the morning. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah. So we do have guests here. So I would we would encourage guests to speak at least for a minute. Anyone would like to volunteer to speak for the next question, or should I just choose someone? Okay. Shanti, are you there? Shanti?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So this is one more question for the table topic. So tell about a situation where you used your failures as stepping stones for success.
Madam Table Topics Master. Actually, I would say like today's topic, resilience, when I was looking at the back, I did a lot of research on it. We know what is resilience, so how to use and those kind of things I was looking at. And then I came up with a wonderful article in Google about professor was telling about gardening lovers. So what we do is we help the plant to make it grow with taking out the unwanted things like rocks or pebbles, and then put more of good things what it wants like compost and fertilizer. So that's the two things I was thinking about. And I wasn't aware of what I was doing, and that related me to what situation I was going through for like a job search or any pandemic or whatever. There is a pattern in everyone that happens. We ourselves go back, take the unwanted things and pour more of it. I was able to see and notice myself when I recollected from my memory. That was the one when I lost my job last time. It took 2 to 3 weeks to get back to normal because I was blabbering and things like that, negativity, other things. But when you slow down, take out the unwanted feelings and emotions, and then I could able to step up and look after that as an opportunity to pivot into the career role or whatever you are doing that will divert your way from the difficulties, and be resilient over a period of time, and quickly you will come back to the normal. I have gone through this a couple of times, so I could see the difference and vivid picture of it. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Shanti. And next, is it Kushbu? Kushbu, can you answer for the next question?
Sure, I can take the next question.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Tell us about a situation where you are able to overcome your one of the biggest fear.
Biggest situation and biggest fear. Recently, actually, it's my recent story only. I got new AD and I was looking for new opportunities. Initially, when I started, I was like literally totally lost in confidence because my previous job was, I had a gap in my career, and getting new opportunities was really difficult. Applying so many jobs every day, almost like 100 to 200 applications per day, and again 100 to 200 emails next day for, you are not a fit for us, you are not a fit for us, those kind of emails. I slowly decided to take a strategy, following specific things, follow my leads, and then slowly I started getting into like at least get a first round of call, and then getting rejected. Then I moved into like, learn from my mistakes, learn from my things, and moved into like second round of call and getting rejected, third round of call and getting rejected, fourth round of call and getting rejected. Finally, after final rounds, I got 2 offers. One of them I accepted recently and I joined a company. So I think learning from failure is after like if I circle back, or if I reflect back to my journey, I really see that I think it was good that I got rejected from so many of those companies, or got so many of rejections overall, because I think it helped me to get, or to get up to the speed and get new offers and get ready for work. So I think failure is one of the biggest teacher, I would say, for me.
Thank you, Kushbu. And next question would be for Jojo. Jojo, tell about a situation where you had to face a biggest challenge in your life, and you were able to cope up with your positivity.
Can you repeat your question again? Sorry, kind of breaking up.
Sure, yeah. Tell about a situation in your life, and it's a challenge, and you were able to cope up with your positivity.
Two years ago. Oh no, 3 years ago. when I decided to relocate to the United States. That was actually my second entry to the States. The first time was 20 years ago. I really enjoy my life and get used to the work environment in the States. Then I left the country. Then after 20 years, I decided to go back. That's really gave me a cultural shock. Even I thought I would get used to it. Like Kushbu just mentioned, I have a career gap because I've been away from the country for more than 15 years. Then it really took me some time to land a job. I got rejections, but I also feel that's totally agree with Kushbu that value are actually the best teachers in our life. So I got rejections, but I also see that every rejection, I will ask a recruiter or a hiring manager that's why I got rejected. Then it can help me improving and also polish my skill sets through the interview, through the interaction, also help me communicate better. So that's a challenge for sure, but that also give me a different opportunity or give me different perspective to look at my current states. Back to you, tabletop Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you, Jojo. And yeah, I think we are good with the table topics.
Thank you, Shashi.
Okay.
Next, we will go into the evaluation. So I will hand it over to Karen, our general evaluator.
All right, this is the best part of the meeting, at least for me, because what I find when you listen to other people evaluate, you can learn from other people's mistakes. You don't have to make them all yourself. I spent many years doing that, and I just want to tell you, you don't have to. So listen up, because anything they say could apply to all of us. And there's always great tips. Now, you know, meetings that always go the same way and in the same order are boring. And I cannot be a boring person. So we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to start with the evaluation from the last speaker first. So we're going to have Deepa evaluate Helen's speech first, and then we're going to go backwards up the agenda because, well, you know, I got up this morning and I thought, what could I do to make Abhijit crazy? And I figured this was it. All right, Deepa, are you ready?
Absolutely, yes, Karen. Thank you so much. Anything to make Abhijit feel flustered. Helen, coming to you, what a lovely speech. Thank you so much for sharing such an intimate part of your life and your family traditions with us. It really touched my heart. I loved your description of a dim sum place. The way you painted the picture with words, the noise, the bustling carts. When sharing a story, it's very important to paint the scene for your audience. And I think you were splendid at that. Good work. Tonight, I also noticed you used exemplary eye contact. I was watching you intently, and your engagement with the audience was top-notch. Helen, during your speech, I noticed you were occasionally using hand gestures to gesticulate. Hand gestures are really useful and helpful in communication. However, we were not able to see most of your gestures, perhaps because of the camera angle. I would recommend playing with the distance from camera angle, and see what position works best for you so that we are able to see your gestures. There was one last comment that I observed that I want to make, and it was an observation I made, is your use of tongue clicks. I think you used tongue clicks twice. And in one particular sentence in your speech, you used the word atmosphere twice in the same sentence. I think watching for these small things here and there would be really helpful. But overall, a great speech. And thank you once again for sharing your life with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I always learn this. And when did tongue clicks become active? Not till we went on video. I don't recall hearing. How about you, Abhijit? I don't recall hearing about tongue clicks until we all went on video, and now we are clicking away like a bunch of chickens. I don't get it, but you know, it better to be aware of it here and fix it before you give that big presentation somewhere, right? Now we're going to move backwards up our agenda, and we're going to have Vicky evaluate Lakshmi's speech. Go for it, Vicky.
Thank you, Karen. Lakshmi, first of all, congratulations on completing your pathway. It feels like yesterday when I first joined and you were delivering your icebreaker or your first project speech. And now look at you. This is such an amazing and enchanting speech. Your use of props and the catchy stories sprinkled among your speech make it incredibly fun to listen to. The glass from the wedding, the phone, the photo album, and even the mop of your grandma's. It feels like I was right there in your stories with you, flowing down your memory lane. Even if I didn't know you before, you utilized this opportunity to tell us about you, your life, and your precious experience with Women Lead and Toastmasters. Also, your facial expression, your body language and gesture, the use of various distance from the camera, and your pace are just immaculate. I couldn't keep my eyes off you. I love the way that you channel Abhijit on like, what about this? What about this? I literally saw Abhijit in you. Also, that just showed us how Abhijit's mentoring came through. You are just such an amazing storyteller. You said even the speech that won the first place at international contests can be improved, which gave me a lot of pressure, you know? How could I possibly find flaws in your amazing, perfect speech, seemingly a perfect speech? If I were to make maybe suggestions, I would say, don't be shy. Tell us about your achievement at Toastmasters, because did you all know that Lakshmi is a division level international speech contest winner? I know usually vulnerability is what makes us relatable, but sometimes a role model of achievement and strength is also what we need for inspiration. So to recap, I love so many things about your speech: props, stories, facial expressions, body language and gesture, and your pace. You just have the whole package. And most importantly, I love this lessons that you share with us, that you learn about empathy and humility in Toastmasters. My suggestion is to also share with us your win. And last but not least, thanks for the tip of using the same speech at different clubs. Very practical for me personally. Back to you, Karen.
Awesome. And I really like that you're pointing out what you can do at other clubs. So I have a club that meets on Friday night at 6. So if you are, and Lakshmi spoke there twice, 3 times. She attended at least 3 times. 3 times she spoke there. Give me a call if you want in. I can always look for an open slot, or you can just say, hey, can you slot me in? Because we love to have guest speakers. So that's awesome. All right. And now We're saving, actually, I think we can vote on the table topics. It seems to have popped up. So if you make fun of Abhijit, he'll pop things up over everybody on your screen. You can't see anything until you vote for the best table topic speaker. And I think, did you put in the chat, Abhijit, the order? So the order of the speakers, in case you're like me and you can't remember anything for more than a nanosecond, you can look there and to get your 1, 2, 3. Let's take a minute to vote. It looks like most people have voted, and now we have saved the best for last, the icebreaker feedback. These are my absolutely favorite evaluations, particularly when you hear such fabulous icebreakers as we do here. Mahutma, could you please take it away and evaluate the icebreaker?
Thanks, Karen. Bhavna, welcome to our club. We're so happy to have you. I thoroughly enjoyed your icebreaker. I really feel like I know you so much better. I could completely relate to, how you started the speech about parents thinking, literally telling me education is your golden ticket out of your current state. Yes, I could totally relate to that. And that's what I used to hear from my parents as well. Your speech had a very good structure overall. You started with your childhood, added in some fun anecdotes, which, caught my attention. And it also kind of grew beautifully into how that changed your life, which was very, very interesting to hear. Another thing you did very well is connecting back to your theme of how you believe in destiny. I think I know you better also because I know how you think now, right? So I think that you did really well at different points of the speech. You connected back to the theme. There are a couple of things I wish you had done to make the speech a little better. One was I was really waiting for you to tell me your friend's name. I'm like, I want a friend like that. So what was her name? I wanted to know. And, connecting back in the end to say, oh, let me give her a name. I'm going to call her Angel because that seems to be what she did for you. So Angel is doing this in life right now. And I just wanted to know what happened to your friendship, right? And talking to a camera is really different from talking to an audience, right? For one, you have to keep looking at the camera all the time and you can't make eye contact with your audience. So that is something that, will take some time to get to, but also something you can work on your next speech. But my favorite part of your speech, I'm saving the best for the last, was how you took us to this moment of where you're standing in the lobby at Oak Ridge National Lab and thinking back about how you got there. I saw everyone's expression. Everyone was like, wow. Everyone was just awestruck and listening to what you were saying. And that's a very powerful thing to be able to do in your icebreaker. So I commend you on being able to do that. I really felt like I was with you in the lobby and feeling all those emotions that you were feeling. Overall, a great icebreaker speech. I feel like we all know you a little better. Icebreaker speech, and that's the primary purpose of an icebreaker speech. So thank you for your speech. Welcome to our club. I look forward to hearing all your speeches. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
You always have to remember to hit that mute button every single time. It's really amazing how that works. You'd think we'd be used to it after this long. Now, Abhijit has got me again. I can't see anything on my screen except the best evaluator. So it must be time in our program for people to evaluate the evaluators. Now, are we supposed to evaluate them in the order that they appeared or in the order of the speakers?
Order they appeared today.
So the order they appeared. So please do it in the order they appeared, which was exactly backwards from the order in which they spoke.
There was no evaluator 4 today, so please do not vote for evaluator 4.
Okay, it looks like most people have had a chance to vote. The winners will be announced later. Now we'd like to have our report outs from our various functional roles that are so important because they keep us on track. And they remind us of some little things that we often forget, like to use the word of the day. And you should always do that using the word resilience for today prior to calling on the grammarian, who I believe is Shanti today. Is that right? Could you give us our grammarian report?
Good evening, General Evaluator, Madam. Yeah, we didn't have much for more people, like 2 of them used the word of the day. I heard from you, and another person I forgot. This is my first time in this role. And then the different structure of the wordings and sayings I have captured. When Bhavana was speaking, she mentioned about innovative ways to skip her homework, and then healthy competition by the next speaker, personal jackpot, let the course take its time. That's something different than usual. And when Lakshmi was speaking, she told about the slightly rusty Toastmaster regained my identity and nothing less than a blockbuster. That was something I've captured, kindle my memory. And then a lot of connections she had, like a rhyming, accelerate my education, accepting and applying the feedback. Those are all very good. And then next speaker we had Helen. I had all the menu, the whole menu in my notebook. Chicken legs, pork, blood, and exotic things. So that was good. And jasmine tea, lot of different flavors. And when evaluation when Deepa was providing her evaluation, she explained about exemplary eye contact. That's something new, and painted the picture of the bustling cards. And Jojo mentioned about polish my skills when she was giving her table topics. So that's all I have captured. Back to General Evaluator, Madam.
And I think we owe her a little round of applause for her first time doing this. And that was excellent. It was excellent. We actually want to create a club here where people think it's okay to make mistakes, because that's how we can learn. And the mistakes are not embarrassing because that's what we're all here trying to do. Excellent. And now, Jojo, would you like to share with us how many ums, ahs, so's, rights, you knows, and all those other words that we use?
Thank you, Karen. So it's really my pleasure. I just use so. Yeah, so this is also a filler word. I just got myself. It's my great pleasure to report how many filler words we use for today. The first speaker, Behna, I got nothing from you except one repeat. I'm sorry. Except one repeat. But I have to say that as a first speaker, you have done wonderful, terrific job. So the repeat was happen when you talk about I got the scholarship, you repeat twice. For the speaker, Lakshmi, I got nothing from you. Okay. Helen, that's really a wonderful, very touching speech. I got 2 on, 1 so. Chi, I got 3 2 2 and. Sarah, I got 1 on, 1 so, 1 and. Shanti, I got 1 on, 1 1 and. Kushbu, I got 2 1 so, 1 and. And I'm the last speaker, so I don't really note myself, but I believe I make a lot of mistakes. So if someone can really, bring that to me, I would really appreciate that. For the evaluator, Dipti and Vicky, I got nothing from you. And one thing I can share with you is, sometimes when we make a post that can avoid filler words. Madhu, I got to earn what you know, 1-8. That's my report. Thank you so much.
Awesome job. You can't fix it if you don't know you uttered it. That's our philosophy here. And we have one more report out, and that would be from our timer. Kushbu, could you please let us know how we did on our timing?
Today, all of our speeches and all of our evaluator and all of our table topics were into the time. None of them were beyond time. Most of our speeches were finished into the given time of like 4 minutes and 30 seconds, 10 minutes and 11 seconds for Lakshmi, and 5 minutes, 30 seconds for Helen. Table topics were mostly ranging from 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, and evaluations were also falling in the range of 2 to 3 minutes.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Kushbu. Now, this is the best part, the part that I like. I get to evaluate the meeting. And there's a few things that I want to say to a few people here. Lakshmi, I'm going to start with you because I watched that first speech. And I watched you progress all the way up through that contest. And I watched you leap out and speak at other clubs. And you have developed quite a stage presence. You really have this ability to get in our faces and make us think. And you do these things with your eyes that are fantastic. So I don't know how you're practicing, but maybe you could give a speech and teach us some of what you're doing, because it's paying off for you in spades. Bhavana, there were a couple things that you said that blew me away. You used an anchor phrase in your speech, and maybe you're not even sure what that is, but that's a phrase that you'll repeat 3, 2, 3, maybe 4 times. That conversation would change my life forever. You had it at least twice, and then you had a slightly different version later in the speech. That's a way to get your audience to remember your message, right? That conversation would change my life forever. And that's one of those statements that it's like, even if you're not paying attention, bam, now you've got to pay attention, because whatever she's going to say is the change, right? It's coming. So it's like an announcement. It's like, pay attention. So absolutely excellent use of that. I really, really like that. And Deepa, when you evaluated Helen's speech, you said, it touched my heart. And you said it just like that. It touched my heart. And that means it's really, really important. And it's a very few words to put a lot of description around. So don't ever hesitate to use colorful language that really brings up imagery in people's heads, because it makes it much, much better. And now I think it's my turn to turn it back over to Toastmaster Samantha. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. That was great. And to all of our speech evaluators, I want to thank all the speakers, role bearers, and evaluators. I know there were a lot of changes and a lot of people stepped in last minute, so thank you. I appreciate it. I will now hand control over the meeting back to Kushbu.
Thank you, Samantha. Thank you so much for the wonderful evening today and an awesome, great speech, great meeting with lovely and very thoughtful speeches. With that, I would like to end this meeting with a quote, which is, what makes people resilient is the ability to find humor and irony in situations that would otherwise overpower you. And with that, it's time to announce the best speaker, table topics, and the evaluators for the evening. So, ready for the results, guys? Clap your hands. The best speaker is Lakshmi Sridhar. She always sweeps the floor. Best table topics goes to me. Thank you. And the best evaluator for our evening is Madhumita Sridhara. Congratulations to the speaker, to the table topics, and to the evaluator. With this, let's move to the next section. Again, I'm just announcing some things, which is reminding again about the in-person optional hangout. Again, people can join it virtually as well, and we are most welcome. We are welcoming all of you to meet in person, and we would really like to meet you all in person, if at all you can make it. If not, please join us virtually. Meetings in August, these are all the upcoming meetings. The first one we already had just today. Next is our happy hour, which is coming on the August 8th, and it's on Sunday. Next meeting we are going to have, it's a workshop, humor in speeches. Please do attend this workshop. It is for the upcoming contest at the club level and at the division level. And our next regular meeting will be on the 18th of August, which is about the work-life balance. Newsletter is already out. I already told. I'm just reminding again to go and take a look, check it out. And there are so many new things, new blogs are out there. And Abhijit, would you like to make that announcement before I move into the guest feedback?
Yes, thank you, Khushbu. We are going to have two contests this season. The first one is table topics. It will be held on August 25th. Table topics on August 25th. And then on September 8th, we are going to have humorous speech contest. There is no eligibility requirement for these contests. I encourage everyone to participate in both table topics and humorous speech. Back to you, Madam Khushbu.
Thank you so much, Abhijit. So please do participate into the upcoming workshop, which is about the humorous speeches. And we also do some internal table topics as well. So be actively participative into all of those and let us know if you would like to participate into any of these upcoming contests. Now it's time for guest feedback. I think Samantha has already collected some of the guest feedback, but still, if anyone would like to come up and share something about the meeting today or overall Womenly Toastmasters, please welcome.
Melody, how did it feel?
It was a great meeting. I think I want to come back. No, yeah, it was just so great to see everybody's speeches and how animated everyone is. And I don't know, I feel like I learned a lot from just this meeting. So I'm excited for the next one. And I hope I can one day be on the stage, a virtual stage rather, and speak. So, yep.
Thank you, Melody. Sina?
Yeah, so I really liked this group because it's very supportive, starting from Karen's humor to Lakshmi's sharing the knowledge on how she, grew to this level. It's like very collaborative and supportive, and all the speeches were wonderful, emotional and different. Yeah. Thank you.
Aisha, you want to share something?
Yes, I am very appreciative to have the opportunity to be around so many different views, so many different genres. I was very happy to be open to learn in terms of public speaking and how to use it to draw an audience and to use what you have, the different techniques, the camera, the background, all those things are just going in my mind, trying to figure out, where do you start, what do you do? But I appreciate everybody's input and the support that everyone gave to each other in terms of sharing their personal events within their life and making it be very comfortable to do that, to share with a group.
Thank you, Aisha. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to all of our guests for sharing the great feedback, and we look forward to see you all in next meetings, and maybe few of them as us as our club members. Anything else? We are ahead of the time. We still have 5 minutes left. If anyone wants to share something, the club is open for you. Else we can officially adjourn the meeting.
I'd like to share, Abhijit announced the contests that are coming up, but there's also another important thing. You can be a contestant, which I highly encourage you to do. And Lakshmi went through the last round of competitions, so talk to her if you got questions. She's just done it. But there's the fall fusion. At the end, the culmination of this series of contests is at the division level, and it's at the fall fusion where you'll hear the best of the best speakers. And usually there's what, 5, 6? There's several speakers in this thing. So you're going to get this collection of the best speakers in the Bay Area, unless you don't sign up, which would be silly, just silly if you don't sign up, because where else can you go to get some of the best speakers in the Bay Area? So I highly encourage you, if you don't want to compete, to watch and to go to the area contests and the other ones, and you can watch people like Lakshmi take her speech and craft it to be the most beautiful thing ever. So I highly encourage you guys to do that. It's fun.
Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing your thoughts. It's really good to know what's upcoming and what people can do. If not at all participate, just watch. It's really good idea. I think we can officially adjourn our meeting. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight, and looking forward for many more exciting and awesome meetings in future. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.